Hello, I'm Sarah the Gallifreyan Ravenclaw. So it's mid-series 2, so I thought I'd do a quick video about theories. It's audio only as I'm busy this week, so it's just to make editing slightly quicker and easier. So Mrs. Flood has been getting more and more interesting every week. Lucky Day gave us more insight into her aim as she seemed to recruit Conrad for whatever she's got planned, presumably whatever happens on the 24th of May, which somehow ends up in the destruction of the Earth. Was she deliberately watching Belinda be taken by the robot so she knew when the doctor had gone? So I wanted to share some of my favourite theories I've heard and discuss one that is now more plausible. Yes, Story in the Engine is the episode that confirmed to me that this theory is probably correct. So this isn't technically a raw leak, but it is something that casual viewers won't have picked up on. Bit like Susan Twist, I didn't point her out to my family, well, simultaneously making videos about her on here every week. So I've got a few theories about her. I'll get the most common one out of the way, the Rani. I'll be honest, I haven't seen either of her classic stories, but I know of her. I know she's basically a female master who's a bit more sciencey, because I remember someone having a video around the time Missy started saying that Missy made her redundant. And she's also one that's been theorised so many times to return that I stopped believing it a long time ago. Mind you, I said the same about David Tennant and Power of the Doctor. Proved me wrong. But unless there's some leak I'm unaware of, the best evidence, and I say that very loosely, that I've seen anyone say is flood and rain being an anagram of Rani, which even with Russell's fascination of anagrams last series, does seem a bit stupid. There also was definitely some copyright issue with her. I haven't looked into it too much, but I'm sure that it was Big Finish did a story in like 2007 or something like that. But then the couple who invented her passed away, and so no one actually knew who owned the rights, and they never made any more stories. So she's not an easy character to bring back because Russell would have had to spend a lot of time figuring out who actually owns the rights to this character. So she could just be some other unknown Time Lord / lady. Another theory I quite liked, and I will credit this person in the description if I can find their video, was that she's the Watcher. So if you've seen Tom Baker's last episode when he regenerated into Peter Davison, you know there's a mysterious figure following him around, and when he regenerates, like merges with him. And this guy theorised that the bigeneration had caused the Watcher to sort of come back out. I did like this theory, although I think we're all sort of agreed that Mrs. Flood probably isn't a good guy. So she's unlikely to be part of the Doctor unless you're going Valeyard route, and I don't think that's the sort of thing Russell would do 2 seasons through an era. I don't think going into the Valeyard right now would be a good idea. This final theory isn't one about who she is, but how the Doctor will realise that there's something going on with her, is that she will say the word gravity. And the Doctor will notice that as he knows no human knows that word anymore. Even Donna didn't know it, and she literally was the one who caused the change. Much to the confusion of Catherine Tate, if you've seen that clip. So, on to the theory that's been gaining a lot of traction recently. That she's a god of storytelling or fiction or something along those lines. So there's been many things pointing to this, not just her fourth wall breaks and comments like his story is ending soon and it ends the 24th of May. But the Whovians in Lux have been theorised to be gods, and they're watching the Doctor's life like it's a TV show. Who says Mrs. Flood isn't the person creating this show for them? And obviously, gods and stories was quite a key theme in the Story in the Engine. But there was one more thing that I didn't notice until going through the titles to look everyone up for my recurring actor series. And that's the penultimate name on the titles, only followed by Jo Martin, is Poppy, played by Sienna Robin Mavanga Phipps. Which, if that name rings a bell to you, that's because she is the same Poppy from Space Babies. The little girl that Belinda saw was baby Poppy. So something is clearly leaking through. Belinda saw a baby who isn't even born for a few more centuries. Was that just because of the magic of the barbershop? Or is that part of something larger? Is the Doctor being, haunted by his past adventures? Lux was almost identical to the Devil's Cord. The well involved him encountering a monster that he's one of very few people to have met before. As far as we're aware, only that one ship ever met the Midnight Entity, and half of them didn't survive it. And then meeting Abby again after all these years? On his past adventures, following him somehow? So what do you think? Is Mrs. Flood the god of storytelling, fiction, or something along those lines? Is she just another Time Lord? Did she cause whatever happened on May 24th? Why was Poppy in Lagos? So let me know all your theories in the comments below, and I hope we'll get answers to all of these soon. Bye!